Once upon a time in a kingdom far, far away, there lived a beautiful princess. She was known for her kindness and her ability to make people laugh. But the princess had a secret. She couldn't sleep at night. No matter how tired she would toss and turn in her bed, unable to get a single wink of sleep. One night, the princess decided she had enough of this. She would go to the kingdom's wise old wizard and ask for his help. The wizard lived in a crooked little house on the edge of town, and the princess had to cross a rickety old bridge to get there. As she approached the house, she heard the sound of singing. It was a beautiful song, and the princess stopped to listen. And then she saw him sitting on a lily pad in a nearby pond was a handsome prince. Well, at least he looked like a prince. The problem was he was also a frog. The frog prince looked up and saw the princess staring at him. He cleared his throat and said, excuse me, but could you please tell me why you're just standing there gawking? Oh, I'm sorry, stammered the princess. I didn't mean to intrude. I was just admiring your beautiful singing voice. The frog prince puffed up his chest and said, Why, thank you. I'm known throughout the kingdom for my voice. In fact, that's how I became friends with the wizard. He was so impressed by my singing that he invited me to live here in his pond. The princess smiled and said, Well, I'm sure you two have many wonderful hours ahead of you, but I'm afraid I must be going. I have an appointment with the wizard. And with that, the princess hopped over a stone and landed right in the middle of the pond. The frog prince gasped and cried out, Beware, princess, you'll ruin my voice if you don't get out of here. But it was too late. The water was now as silent as could be. The princess panicked and ran to the nearest phone. She had only one chance to save her voice. She had to call the frog prince's mother, the queen. The princess dialed the royal number and waited for an answer. Then came the most beautiful voice she had ever heard. Hello, your majesty, cried the princess. I'm so sorry, but I accidentally ruined your son's singing voice. The queen gasped. What did you say? You ruined my son's voice. How could you do such a thing? I'm so sorry, your majesty, but I really didn't mean to. Could you please forgive me? The queen was silent for a moment. Then she said, Very well, I forgive you. But you must do something for me if you want my forgiveness to be complete. Oh, anything, your majesty, said the princess. The queen said, You must find my son and tell him that even though he may not have a singing voice anymore, he will always be loved by his family and friends. And with that, the call ended. The princess hung up the phone and raced back to the pond. There she saw the frog prince sitting on his lily pad, looking more miserable than ever. The princess took a deep breath and said, Your majesty, I know this may be hard to hear, but you will always be loved by your family and friends. The frog prince looked up in surprise. How is that? He croaked. Because no matter what happens, said the princess, you will always be the kind, funny, beautiful frog prince to me. And from that day on, the princess and the frog prince became the best of friends. And as for the wizard, he eventually found a new apprentice who could turn out to be a great singer. The end.